Happy Tuesday morning, everybody. Welcome into Morning JOX. Conrad Van Order and Damian Mitchell here with you for the next hour as we get you set on your Tuesday here with everything going on in the world of sports as we continue to march on towards the Super Bowl coming up on Sunday, the iBob coming up on Saturday, and much else going on around the world of sports. But before anything else, it is worthy of celebrating the fact that it is above freezing this morning. So it's still cold, but it's not that cold.
No,
it's not as cold.
Yeah.
So that's good. We're
trending upward.
We're trending upward. I don't care what that groundhog said yesterday. We're trending up.
Yeah, it's gonna be warm down here.
Yeah, we'll is. It's nice. So we're it's nice to only have 3 layers on this morning instead of 4. So that's definitely a nice surprise, and hopefully going to heat up. Be a nice day out there, and hope all of you are safe on your way to work, school, and appreciate you tuning us in each and every morning here on the program. So we do have some things going on in the world of college football. We also had a streak that was quite a long streak that was snapped in the world of college basketball for one of the teams in the state here yesterday as well. And as I mentioned, we got the Super Bowl coming up on Sunday. So we still got a lot going on in the world of sports. But I figured we would start off with what's going on in the world of college football, because there is a interesting story that came out yesterday that I don't think is massively surprising to anybody that's been paying attention and following what's going on in college athletics. But it's just another example of here we go again with another legal battle that ultimately, again, it's just kind of hard for me at this point, anytime one of these happens, to assume that the player's not going to win, because they just kind of always do win, except maybe, think like the Diego Pavia thing. Like, he already kind of got to do that once. I don't think they're going to let you do that again. But if you're Joey Aguilar, why not try to do that again? So the Tennessee quarterback, he is suing the NCAA in county court for another season of eligibility. Again, I don't think this is a huge surprise to anybody, because it's a guy that, obviously he's going to be able to make an argument legally, or his representation is going to be able to make an argument legally that if he's not given an extra year of eligibility, they're, preventing him from being able to go out there and earn a living, and they're going to prevent him from making, I don't know what, $2, $3, $4 million. And they'll make this whole argument just like everybody else does. And, eventually the song and dance with the NCAA will likely lead to him coming back to Tennessee. So, who knows? Maybe I'm wrong, but just kind of feels like that's the safe assumption to make anytime one of these situations arises. But I would imagine, again, this is just my gut, but I would imagine that people there at Tennessee maybe, we're like, yeah, we think you should go for this. Or, yeah, let's try to see if we can figure out a way to go and fight this. Because if you've been paying attention, and we've talked about it a little bit here on the show, Tennessee's in a little bit of a awkward spot, I guess, just in the sense of they don't really have a quarterback right now, because they were going after all the big names in the portal, and unfortunately all the big names decided to go elsewhere, and Tennessee is the one school kind of left standing without one of those guys. So it makes sense that you would go to your quarterback in Joey Aguilar, who, he wasn't like a world beater this year, but I think he was better than I was expecting him to be. He was a very competent SEC quarterback.
Yeah, it's kind of the Marcel Reed effect. When he was on, he looked pretty good. When he was off, the other team was getting the football.
Absolutely. And so, but I think just kind of looking that, the cupboard is pretty bare there in Knoxville. You probably go, yeah, you know what?
Let's go for year 2.
Oh, Joey wants to come back? Yeah.
Yeah,
let's bring him back. So, again, I think that's probably part of it, as well as there's, that Tennessee side that's like, all right, we think we can push this. And, I know you said you're going to go, test the NFL draft waters, but I think you're going to come back to Tennessee. Like, yeah, you know what? I think I'd rather do that as well. So we'll see how this whole thing progresses, but it is just kind of interesting because, again, we had talked about Tennessee and that them being kind of the one team that was like, man, I don't know what they're going to do at the quarterback position. And so now they're barking up this tree, or sorry, they're not. Joey Aguilar is. I'm sure they have nothing to do with it, but it'll be interesting just to see if this is another situation of a player being able to get an extra year that kind of just appears out of thin air. And
yeah. I mean, the NCAA at some point, like, I just don't know where it begins.
Can we not just go to 5 years of eligibility for everyone and that's it?
That's it. Unless you have a medical red shirt.
Yes.
I'm with you. I just think that there has to be some sort of just bona fide guidelines that you have to abide by. Like, these are the rules. This is how it's supposed to be. There are exceptions if there's a medical red shirt, if there's a coaching change or something. But I think that for the most part, it needs to be in black and white, fine print. These are the years you got, and anything outside of anything catastrophic, that's all you're getting. So, because again, we're getting at this point where guys are getting, not to say that Joey Aguilar doesn't necessarily deserve it, but it's also kind of like Charles Bediako's situation of, well, if the NCAA hadn't really given me any sort of, guidelines of where I could be, let's just try it out and see. What's the worst that can happen? They say no. Okay, I'm going to the NFL or testing the waters. If not, I'm coming back to play another year. So I don't necessarily fault the kid for this one, because the NCAA has just made they're situational, because some guys will be denied, some guys will be accepted. So it's just kind of what the NCAA is feeling on a day-to-day basis. But at some point, you got to find some consistency and you got to straighten this thing out.
Yeah, it's just more of a mess, and another story that we've just seen so many like this that it's none of this stuff is surprising anymore. It's just, again, at the end of the day, and I think I will say this too. I think something that would help a lot of people is at least go, you know what? All right, I appreciate the honesty. I appreciate the self-awareness. Is kind of like what you were saying there is, for some of these guys, just instead of making it this big deal and trying to go and, I don't know, they try to talk themselves out of the situation, when the reality is it's like, hey, man, I understand that my future is not as a professional football player or a professional basketball player, or at least at the highest level. So I want to take as much advantage of this opportunity as I can, both to play the game that I love and to financially support myself before I have to go and get a real job, essentially. And I think a lot of people would look and go, yeah, we know that's what you're doing. I appreciate you coming out and saying that, just being honest about it. That's fine. Like, that's because that's what it is, because it's the same thing, right, with Charles Bediako. Charles Bediako had, like, let's say he had gotten picked up, actually was on the Spurs, not their G League squad, but he actually played for the Spurs. He's not coming back to Alabama. You're playing in the NBA. Like, the only reason you wouldn't go is because you're not good enough to actually make it, which is fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Again, we all remember the commercial. There's 99% of you will go professional in something other than sports. Nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with wanting to profit off of it while you still can, but just, I just wish we could all be open about it. It's just, it's the loud part that everyone has to whisper for some reason, but like everyone knows what it is.
Yeah.
Just.
It's TJ Finley. He straight up said, he's like, man, I got 3 kids, and why can't I just sit here and make as much money as I possibly can, then pursue my dream later? Well, you're not wrong, brother. You got it.
Well, and I was thinking about this yesterday, and I know some people, when you're a kid, at least for me, right? Like, when I was a kid, I wanted to be a Major League Baseball player. Like, and when you're a little kid, like, I actually thought that I could do that, right? But like, that was my dream as a kid, was I wanted to go and play for the Yankees and be a baseball player. Okay, now, and a lot of that is right because it's something that you love, doing it at the highest level, but you're also rich and famous. And as a kid, like, it doesn't get better than that, right? I was thinking about this yesterday, and I'm like, think about how many kids, and I know you had kids, that grew up and like, oh man, I want to go play for Auburn. I want to go play for Alabama. Like, that's who I grew up rooting for. But like, it was because of that, right? Because it's like, that was the step to get you to the NFL, and you wanted to play for the place that represented you. Now you're going to have kids that are like, their dream is to be a college football player so that they can make money and then after 5 years go and do something else and go and do a podcast or YouTube. Like, that's going to be kids' dream job, is to be a college football player and make $10 million in college and then go and do whatever for the rest of their life. Go be a crypto whatever. I don't know.
And I'm with you. And that's the unfortunate part, because when they do get out into the real world, they're taking a pay cut. Like, they are getting into the real world, taking a pay cut and having these real world conversations of, hey, this is the contract that you're signing. Oh, it may be $100,000, which is like a great job in modern day society. But what they've been as a college athlete is, I was just getting paid, $5 million to catch passes at Texas, and now I gotta suffer with $100,000 job, and there's no opting out. There's no hitting the transfer portal when you sign the contract. They'll take you to court real quick in the real world. So I just think that I'm with you. It's the mind shift and the mindset that these guys are having. It's yeah, they can stop it in college, and then after that, hopefully you've invested your money wisely. You could live off what you made in college. So
that is an interesting point, though, in terms of just people that I don't know. When you take, I don't know, the financial literacy part of that is just very, very interesting because you have so many people that, just imagine you're 19 years old and you're making $2 million, and that, let's be honest, that's going to give you a certain lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like you said, even like you get a really good job out of like a great job somewhere, and you're making $150,000. Like for them, that's like might be poor. Like
That's
not
a pay
poor,
cut,
but you get what I'm saying. Like in their mind, like their lifestyle that they got accustomed to living, they're like, I can't live that life anymore that I lived as a 19-year-old. It's crazy.
Yeah, like they're having midlife crisis at 22 years old because the $1 million check isn't in the bank anymore. It's the it's the 5,000 this week. It's the 5,000 a month. Like that's what we're getting.
That'd be nice.
That's what I'm saying. It's like those are the thoughts. That's the thought process they're having because like you said, not everybody's making to the NFL, brother. Like it's more realistic that you will be at home or working somewhere else as opposed to continuing your dream in the NFL because it is the best of the best that get there. So I don't know, and that's again, it's you see why they're having 6 and 7 years of eligibility. It's okay, let's run it up as long as we possibly can, and if the NCAA doesn't find any sort of guardrails to kind of keep it in line, this is the kind of stuff that'll happen.
Yeah, it certainly will. It doesn't seem like it's getting a whole lot better, but I guess as we all know, right, it has to get worse before it gets better. But we've been saying that for a little while now, and it just keeps kind of going there. So we will keep you up to date what's going on with Joey Aguilar and the Tennessee Volunteers as they hope that their quarterback of the future is also their quarterback of the past. And I know we had somebody text in this morning and 205-834-9450, and they brought up, they said, well, Tennessee has a 5-star quarterback on there. They have Faison Brandon. They have that kid. He's a 5-star quarterback. They don't need Joey Aguilar to come back. Well, they were going to try to pay Sam Levitt, $4 million? They were going to try to pay Ty Simpson $4 million, and they had that kid on their roster. So, again, I'm not saying that he's not going to be a good player. It's just they obviously are not ready to roll the dice on a true freshman quarterback, which understandable, especially when you're Josh Heupel and maybe you have a little bit of pressure on you this year. But you wouldn't know anything about that, Damien, because you don't keep up with that program.
No. I didn't even know he was under pressure. Man.
Yeah, you probably didn't even know he was still coaching there just because you're so wrapped up.
I knew he was there
in Rebel World. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I knew he was there. He's just a couple seasons removed from being in the college football playoff. Very similar to what Ole Miss had done. But yeah, it's here's the thing what Josh Heupel's about to run into. It's if Joey Aguilar does not get the waiver, or if he does not win his lawsuit, this is 4 years in a row with a different quarterback since Hendon Hooker. So it's tough.
They don't make them like they used to, do they, Damien?
They don't. They don't. That offense, man, something else, man. You gotta have an elite quarterback.
They were good.
You gotta have an accurate quarterback. Boy, those are the days. Not that I recall.
Or not that you care because you never.
Yeah, didn't even.
Not a team that you root for anymore.
I don't even think I rooted for him then.
Probably not.
Nah.
Probably not. All right, well, that's that's the big story of what's going on there in the world of college football with, if you're just now joining us, Joey Aguilar, quarterback of the Tennessee Volunteers, is suing the NCAA looking for a 6-year of eligibility to return there to Knoxville. But we had some kind of a big story locally as well in the college basketball world yesterday as a 42-week streak, a 2-year-long streak was broken yesterday. We'll tell you what it is and who it affected next on Morning JOX. 6:20 here on your Tuesday morning. Welcome back into Morning Jocks. Conrad and Damian here with you for the next 40 minutes or so, as we will hand you off to McElroy and Kubelik in the morning at 7, and they'll be with you from 7 to 10. Then from 10 to 2, three-man front. We'll be with you live at Social Taco in Homewood, so hope to see you out there today from 10 to 2. And then, of course, the Paul Feinbaum show after that from 2 until 6 o'clock. But we did tell you that there was a big streak that was broken yesterday in the state of Alabama, and it was in the college basketball poll, because we had the newest edition of the AP Top 25 that was released yesterday, and following the brutal loss to Florida on Sunday, I mean, just it was embarrassing loss to Florida by the Alabama Crimson Tide on Sunday. They have dropped out of the top 25 for the first time since January 22nd of 2024. So 42 straight weeks of the AP poll that the Alabama Crimson Tide were included in the top 25, and they are no more. So if you look at kind of the overall rankings, Alabama would come in at number 27. Interestingly enough, at number 26 is the Texas A&M Aggies, who will be their opponent tomorrow night. So
they're basically saying the season's over?
Yeah, I think they're going to close the program.
Just shut the program down?
I think the program is getting shut down, yes. I do believe that is the...
It's the Charles Bediako effect, man.
It's the only way forward.
It's the Charles Bediako effect. When he wasn't on the team, they were ranked.
I mean, I can't...
Is it not factual information?
That is a fact. I can't
disagree.
I can't technically disprove that doesn't have something to do with it.
Just saying, ever since he's been on the squad.
That's an interesting angle, but yeah.
No, I just think they're hitting the slump, man. It is what it is. And the thing is, man, when it comes to the top 25, yeah, it's great to feel. It's a feel good story.
As long as you're in the top 68, that's all that matters.
That's all that matters, man. It doesn't matter. We just need to know what seed we are in March Madness. All this other stuff, we appreciate it, but we're good.
I was about to say, you got some wiggle room for both Alabama and Auburn, right? I mean, in terms of, again, it's like we were talking about yesterday. Yes, it was a frustrating for both sides. Yes, was it maybe a little more so for Alabama? Yes, because of how they lost. But it's not like, you're walking out of that weekend going, man, I don't know if Alabama or Auburn's going to make the tournament. Like, they're going to be fine. They're going to make the tournament. Now,
the path.
I was about to say, some of the paths that we brought up, if you were listening to Three-Man Front yesterday, and it's like, oh, Alabama will play, at Stephen F. Austin in the first round. It's like, okay, sure. All right, I'll sign me up for that. All right, well, after that, they're going to play the winner of Arizona and wait, what? That does not sound appealing.
They're cooking.
Yeah, they are. But that was a streak that was broken yesterday. So Alabama, they find themselves on the outside looking in at the top 25. But as we know, plenty of opportunities for them to impress. Plenty of opportunities for Texas A&M to impress starting tomorrow night. And then, of course, the IBOB coming up on Saturday. And for what it's worth, Auburn would be, if you're just tallying all the others receiving votes, Auburn would come in at 33 right now. So a big opportunity for both Alabama and Auburn as they march forward. But you do have two SEC basketball games going on tonight. So you've got 2 tonight and then 2 tomorrow, and then that's it for the midweek slate. So not a whole lot going on. But you do have at 6 o'clock on the SEC Network, South Carolina at Texas. So South Carolina, really, really rough season for them so far. Texas, again, they've had some really high highs, but they've also had some low lows. And so for Texas, certainly, if they want a chance at making the tournament, this would be a win that you certainly need to get. And then you also have at 6 o'clock on ESPN2. I know this is a tough one for you, Damian, but it is the Ole Miss Rebels traveling to Knoxville to take on Tennessee. And Tennessee actually is number 25 now, so they just entered the poll yesterday. But
why would that be a tough one for me?
You
know me, I'm a big Alabama basketball fan.
I know, but you like the colors of both of those teams, and I just thought that, you don't like watching your favorite colors lose. So
yeah, I'm torn to pieces.
So literally no carryover whatsoever.
None.
Like you couldn't care less about either of those programs.
Don't care. Tennessee. Listen,
did you root for Tennessee basketball a little bit when you were a football fan?
No.
No. You don't.
I mean, I like Dalton Connect. He was pretty cool.
Yeah, but you
Pretty
never
good.
liked Rick Barnes. You never been a Rick
I
Barnes
have not
guy.
never.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for Kevin Durant, I think there are a lot of conversations would be different about Rick Barnes. And also, ever since he's been at Tennessee, they still can't get over the old.
Yeah, they're
name.
waiting on that one thing
Yeah.
to happen.
Be one of those Final Four teams
Mm-hmm.
playing.
Mm-hmm.
They've never seen such.
They have not.
They've never seen such.
They have not, which is still wild to me.
No, but no. When I was my sports fandom is strictly for that season. I could care less about Ole Miss basketball. Okay.
So
I'm an Alabama basketball fan. Huge.
yes, okay, but so now that football season's over, so you wouldn't say you're an Ole Miss fan, like because the season's over.
No, I'm still an Ole Miss fan.
Oh, okay.
In football, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and you're going to be next year as well.
I believe so.
But you're leaving the door open for.
Listen, you know how this whole NIL and transfer portal era.
Let me rephrase this: if Trinidad Chambliss doesn't get his waiver accepted and he's not able to come back, will you then enter the transfer portal and?
I will have some conversations with my people and see what the best option is for us.
Probably gonna be an LSU fan next year.
No, they are definitely not on the list.
Uh-huh.
Listen, Texas A&M is higher than LSU right now. If it comes to if I had to hit the transfer portal at this point, I know one place I won't be going.
Good. We'll see about that.
He's a traitor.
That's right.
He's a traitor.
But he was your traitor.
He was.
And now he's not.
Now he's not. But I'm a big Pete Golden guy. Man, you were done with him at Alabama for a long time. So I mean, as Phil as you know, he's got more playoff wins than Lane Kiffin does. So, and he is not afraid to call people during class and say, "Hey, do you want to come over here or not? We got you." I like that.
You like that?
I like that. A coach that knows no bounds.
You like a coach that can't take no for an answer? Lane Kiffin might be your guy yet again, actually. If that's what's at the top of your list for a head coach.
I like his aggression. He's dominant.
He's persistent, from what I understand.
Oh yeah. What Dabo say? Just does what he does. Who's gonna stop him? It dang sure ain't the NCAA. They got a whole bunch of stuff they gotta handle out and they gotta iron out before they get to what Pete Golden's doing. Tampering. Everybody's doing it.
But they're not doing it like Pete, are they?
Not at all. Not at all. We don't need no burner phones. This is direct. We get direct contact. How much is it gonna take? How much is? And you saw what he did. You saw what Luke did. He was like, I'm going to Oxford. Pete's persuasive, man. Persuasive Pete is what they call him.
I mean, if I'm sitting there at 8 a.m. and geometry, I don't know, whatever you take in college, I don't know, whatever, some boring class. And I get a text message with a picture of a $1 million contract that says, hey, you want to come down to the South where it's warm? The girl to guy ratio is 2-to-1 and just take a look around.
I'm out of there. I'm out of there.
See ya.
You can't blame him.
And Clemson's nice. I've been to Clemson. I actually considered going to school there for a short period of time, but it's not quite the same. Not quite the same, especially when the money is what it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
At places like Ole Miss, but you know what they say, hotty toddy. So
exactly.
That's right. So that's what's going on in the world of college basketball.
I do have
as well.
Before we go to break.
Okay.
I'm gonna leave you with this. This has to do with NFL draft / football / SEC.
Okay.
There are 16 teams in the league in the SEC.
Mm-hmm.
There are 4 teams that have never had a number 1 overall pick. I'm gonna let you marinate on it. And on the other side, I want you to give me, if you can,
my guesses. Yeah,
give me the 4 teams that have never had a number 1 overall pick. We'll even open it up to the phone lines. 205-834-9450. Text, call in if you think you may know the answer. Out of 16 teams in the SEC, there are 4 schools that have never had a number 1 overall pick in the NFL draft. Can you name them? I'll give you some time. Text in, call in. I'll let Conrad give me his guesses on the other side, and I'll reveal that on the other side. 205-834-9450. Keep it locked here on Morning JOX.
Welcome back into Morning Jocks. Conrad and Damien here with you until 7 o'clock when we'll hand you off to McElroy and Kublik in the morning. Before we get to Damien's great trivia question, I did want to quickly remind you that coming up on Thursday, we have the biggest basketball game in Birmingham coming up as the Memphis Tigers are heading into town to Bartow Arena to face our UAB Blazers. So it's going to be a gold out there on Thursday night at Bartow Arena. The first 5,000 fans are going to get a gold rally towel as well. So make sure you show up and be loud and support your UAB Blazers as they host the rival Memphis Tigers. That's this Thursday night coming up there at Bartow Arena, and you can go get your tickets now at uabsports.com. All right, so before we went to break, Damien presented a question, and he let us have the break, and a lot of you are chiming in on the text line as well as on the phone lines with your guesses. So, Damien, if you will, for our new listeners, what was your question? And then I will give you my best shot at answering it.
Yes, for the 16 teams that are in the SEC, there are 4 teams that have never had a number 1 overall pick in the NFL draft. One will surprise you, but the rest, I think, I've looked at the text line, and we'll hear from one of our listeners too of who they think it is. But it's interesting because the graphic that I saw was each SEC team's last number 1 overall pick.
Okay.
And
you
then
just
I
noticed the ones that...
Yeah, and I noticed, I was like, wait a minute, they've never had a number 1 overall pick, and it's insane.
Okay.
But I'll open the floor to you, Conrad. Who are the 4 teams that have never had a number 1 overall pick in the SEC?
All right, I'm going to start off. I feel good about this one. I'm going to start off with Arkansas.
That would be correct.
Okay. All right, we got one. Okay. Now, I mean, obviously, right, there's a lot that, it's easy to know, like, obviously Peyton Manning for Tennessee or like a Jamarcus Rose. Like, some of these are easy to remember. Then there's some that it's like, I know I'm going to get got by at least one that I forget that this happened. All right, so we're going to go Arkansas. I'm going to take Missouri.
That would be correct as well.
All right. So there's 2 more.
There's 2 more.
And you said one of them. So one of them I should suspect, and one of them is kind of a like
one is I think is a genuine surprise.
Okay.
And one you can kind of understand.
I'm gonna go. I'm thinking Mississippi State.
That is correct as well.
Okay, so those
you're 3 for 3, brother.
Okay, so those are the 3 obvious ones. Sorry, but okay.
It's crazy.
So now the one that's going to throw me off a little bit. Oh, I hope it's them. Is it Texas A&M?
That would be incorrect.
Dadgummit.
Their last number 1 overall pick
Was Myles Garrett number 1?
Myles Garrett.
Ah, crap.
Myles Garrett.
I forgot about that. Okay. All right. I'll take one more shot at it. Okay. Somebody else that doesn't have a number 1 overall pick. Let's see. Okay. Alabama does. Auburn does. Tennessee does. LSU does. Georgia does. Oh. Well, no. Oklahoma does. Texas does. I don't know. Kentucky.
That'd be incorrect. Tim Couch was their last.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right.
Number 1 overall pick.
Okay. So, well, do you want to reveal who it is, or do you want us to go through the text and stuff before?
Well, there's a couple people that have it correct.
They have it correct?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm all right, so I'm reading through some of these. All right, so see, this one says Mississippi State, Arkansas, Mizzou. Those are correct, but then they throw Florida in there.
That is correct. Florida
Wait, what?
has never had a number 1 overall pick. I told you it'd surprise you. They've never had a number 1 overall pick. And I did my research. Never. University of Florida has never had a number 1 overall pick.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I was floored when I saw it.
Yeah, Yeah, okay.
You think of the talent that has come through.
I know. I'm just thinking, I'm like, surely at some point they would have had one, but yeah.
Nope.
That's crazy.
And Vanderbilt, of all teams, has had a number 1 overall pick. Back in 1952.
No, that was a great year.
Oh, Bill Wade, superstar quarterback for the Vanderbilt Commodores, was the number 1 overall pick in the NFL draft.
All
and
right.
for Texas, it's been a while as well. 1982 was their last number
Ooh.
1 overall pick. Kenneth Sims, defensive tackle.
That has
Tennessee,
been a minute.
of course,
Peyton
Peyton Manning
Manning.
in 1998.
Mhm.
Kentucky, Tim Couch in 99. Ole Miss, of course, the other Manning brother,
Mhm.
Elijah. 2004. Auburn, Cam Newton in 2011. South Carolina,
Jadeveon Clowney.
yes, sir, 2014. Texas A&M, Myles Garrett. Oklahoma, Kyler Murray. LSU, Joe Burrow. Georgia, Trayvon Walker. And then Alabama was Bryce Young. That's the last.
Dang, that's crazy.
That's the last number 1 overall pick from those schools.
That is crazy. See, I'm trying to look here. Well, maybe this is gonna be a little harder to find than I thought. So, but I mean, I'm assuming they probably had somebody go like number 2 or number 3 overall. I would guess
I'm
if you're
pretty
from
sure.
Florida, but wow, that's crazy. Yeah, I would not have guessed. I would not gonna guess Florida. Yeah, see, someone says it was automatic when he said it was gonna surprise everyone. I just, for whatever reason, again, Florida's one of those I just assume like, oh yeah, I'm not even gonna think about them because of. I mean, at some point, right? Like they
Right.
would have had one guy
Nope.
that was good enough to go and be number 1 overall. That's crazy. Well, okay. Well, John Sumrall, you got a job to do there.
Yeah, he's changing the guard down there.
He's got some work to do. That's
Anthony
right.
Richardson was close.
He was close.
So was Kyle Pitts.
Yes. One of them had a career year this year. The other one's career might be over.
That's one way to put it. I mean, it's a fact.
Hey, no love lost for you, man. That's your rival.
Can't stand him.
You don't care about the Colts.
Can't stand him.
Actually, no, you probably want him to play Anthony Richardson because he's terrible, but
No,
no,
no.
no.
Because I'd hate for us to be the get right game. I'd hate for us to be the get right game.
Yeah, you do have to worry about that, don't you?
Exactly. It all clicks.
You do have to worry about that. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, Tay says, yeah, Florida has multiple Heisman winners and no number 1 draft pick. I would have never thought. Yeah. Because, I mean, you wouldn't think. I mean, and maybe it's not in quite the same tier, but, I mean, to me, that would be like, that's not that dissimilar to if, it was, oh, by the way, Notre Dame's never had a number 1 overall pick. Like, I know that, but, it's just one of those things where you'd be like, you wouldn't believe it if somebody told it to you, but I'll be darned. Okay, well, there you go. That was a great trivia question from Damien.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, I was about to say, some of you chiming in on the courtesy GMC text line. Yeah, let's see. A couple of you getting it. A lot of you getting multiple. A lot of Mississippi States, a lot of Arkansas, a lot of Missouris, but some of you getting all of it. Yeah, see, a lot of Vanderbilt.
Yeah, I gotta stop disrespecting Vanderbilt.
In there. Hey, it's different time now, man.
It is.
It's different time. Okay, I don't know how you feel about this. I don't really know how I feel about it either. I understand how good they were this year with Diego Pavia, but just seeing all these people come out with like their early top 25 polls, I don't know. I don't feel like Vanderbilt should be in there for next year. Like, we don't know what they're going to be like without him.
That is true. Listen, I'm not disagreeing.
Like, has Clark Lee earned the benefit of the doubt in your mind at this point?
He told us at SEC Media Days he was building Vanderbilt to be one of the best programs in college football. And you laughed at him.
He said the best.
The best.
Not one of the best, the best.
And he's doing that.
He's getting there. He's a heck of a lot closer than I ever thought he would be. I'll give it.
100%.
Yes, 100% closer than I
You laughed
thought.
at him. I remember you laughed at him when he said that. And I was like, hey, man, you got to stop disrespecting
I
Clark
think
Lee.
you laughed at him too because
I may have.
I think we all did. If we're being honest, I think every single person that heard that laughed at it. And you know what? He's the one that's laughing now.
Exactly.
But I was just, I mean, it just almost feels. I don't know.
You don't want to hate on Vanderbilt. You really
No,
don't.
no, I don't. But I'm just.
But now since they're here.
Yeah, but it's also just like, I mean, just. Because, all right, let's say you start off in the top 25, right? And then they, I'm not saying, I don't think they're going to be as bad as they were, but let's say they go like 6-6 next year, right? And then it's like, oh, look how far they fell. Like, you almost like doing them disservice, I feel like. But I don't know, maybe Jared Curtis is everything that they wanted him to be and more.
No, I'm with you, though, Conrad. I agree with you 100%. I don't know what to expect from Vanderbilt now Diego Pavia is gone. Like, I don't know what to expect.
Stowers is gone? Like, yeah, I mean.
It's how much depth do they really have? Do they really have some dudes around there now all of a sudden? I just I'm questioning. I'm questioning how. What are the expectation levels? What is the expectation level of Vanderbilt now? Because now that they've seen it, it's okay. Is this now going to be the standard in which y'all are at now, or is
Like
it
playoff or bust every year.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
are we gonna be calling the same? Are we gonna be tooting the same horn as Diego Pavia was still here, or is it more like, okay, yeah, now we're back to the status quo?
And look, who's to say they can't get it done? It's just I have I have my reasons to doubt it, but
Like I don't think they're going back to the
no,
bottom.
no, 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 no.
Yeah, they're not going back to the bottom. At least I don't think so.
Yeah,
But they're going to be humbled. Like I think it's going to be back to 8-4, 7-5. They're a team you still don't want to mess around with, but you still should go in there thinking
you should beat them. But if you have an off day, they can.
they can beat
They
you.
can beat you. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're going to be. They're one of the teams I'm very interested to see. This fall, just kind of how all of that goes and all of that develops. And again, part of it too is I just hate. Again, and he may not feel this way, but I would just hate for Clark Lee. Like if it's one of those situations where, his name had gotten pretty hot, like we thought he might end up going somewhere else, and he wants to stay at Vanderbilt. He's a Vanderbilt guy, and then, maybe just Vanderbilt does Vanderbilt things, and he should have gotten out. Well, I would just hate that for him because I mean he really does genuinely seem like a very good dude and a very good coach, but nonetheless, I don't know why I just had that random thought about Vanderbilt, but as we get closer to the year, it's just a lot of intrigue. A lot of intrigue with some teams, no doubt about it. But a lot of you chiming in on the text line 205-834-9450. We'll get more of your thoughts and put a bow on things here. The Tuesday edition of Morning Jocks continues.
6:50 here on Morning Jocks. Damien and Conrad here with you for a few more minutes as we get you set for McElroy and Kublik in the morning. Let me tell you about our friends at Hometown Roofing and Restorations. Trust the experts for your roofing needs. Over 1,200 roofers in the Birmingham area. Make sure you call someone you can trust. Hometown Roofers is family-owned, grounded in faith, and community-oriented. Their customer satisfaction focused with your needs in mind, so you can count on honest communication. The goal is to get it right the first time. If it's an insurance claim, call Hometown and they'll take the ball for you, so you don't have to worry about the red tape and back and forth with the insurance company. Only top-notch materials. Hometown is certified with 2 of the best national brands of shingle, and they offer lifetime material warranties. Financing is available. And wonder if you have an aging roof or roof damage? Hometown offers free inspections. Rated A+ by the Better Business Bureau. Hometown Roofing and Restoration can also handle siding, windows, gutters, and minor remodels. Give them a call at 205-984-4777 or visit htroofers.com. Again, that number is 205-984-4777 or htroofers.com. Hometown Roofing and Restorations. Do it right the first time.
All righty. Well, we want to dedicate the rest of the show to you, our wonderful listeners, at 205-834-9450, as we will put a bow on things here with your text and your calls. So quickly, we'll go to Don Don, who, what did you have on your mind this morning, Don Don?
Well, guys, I was going to guess the 4. Conrad, you did a good job getting 3 out of 4.
Yeah, the Florida one definitely threw me off a little bit there, but that was a good question from Damien.
Yeah, it was a very good question. And I had Arkansas, Mississippi State right, but I was going to guess Vanderbilt and Kentucky. I forgot about how good Vanderbilt was in the 50s before. Well, hey, that was actually before I was born, guys.
That's hard to believe, Don Don.
Yeah, I was born in 61, but hey, Conrad, you're going to be with Landrum being out of town. You're going to be up here today with us, right?
Yep. Me and Pat will be up there at 10:00.
Good deal. Well, you know me, I get there at 9:30 if I can talk to you before the show starts. And I tell you what, I gave that Crafts where you're having it at on 280. I gave them a national ad yesterday talking about it on Fine Bomb.
Well, that's wonderful, Don Don. Well, we look forward to seeing you this afternoon, and yeah, on Friday for the Stallions there at Crafts on 280. It'll be a lot of fun.
All right, guys. Hey, thank you, guys. See y'all today.
Yep. See you, Don Don. Appreciate you chiming in. But now on the courtesy GMC text line. Let's get to some of your texts, some of your thoughts. This one. Okay. Someone says Dante Fowler went 3rd overall in 2015. That is the highest draft pick for Florida since 1945, when Paul Duhart went 2nd overall.
Wow.
So there you go.
Wow.
Even I wouldn't have thought of that. Man, you want to know something that really, just speaking of Florida and things that kind of threw you off? So I was watching last night. I just kind of had it on the background at one point. I guess, I don't know if it was on the NFL Network or what channel. I can't remember what channel it was on. But basically, like, they're running through, like, you know, the last 10 Super Bowl winners or 15 Super Bowl winners or whatever. And they're going through, like, it's like an hour-long thing on each of the teams. Like, and it's like the journey through the season and what got them there. And I was watching the one last night. It was on the Seahawks from when they won their Super Bowl with Russell Wilson. And they beat the Broncos and Peyton Manning. Man, do you remember who played a pivotal role in that game for the Seahawks offensively?
Percy Harvin.
Completely forgot about Percy Harvin still being a dude.
Yeah, he had a kickoff.
At that point,
he had a kickoff return for a touchdown.
Yeah. I'm watching it and I'm going, is that Percy Harvin?
Yeah.
I'm like, man. But I guess also in my head, like, that wasn't as long ago as it was. And, like, the reality is, I mean, that was almost 15 years ago now that happened.
It's crazy.
So I'm sitting there and I'm like, man, I don't feel like it's that long ago or I'm that old, but it was. And I'm just sitting there like, man, Percy Harvin was on the like,
yep.
He was a dude for that Seahawks team that won a Super Bowl. Because, I mean, in my head, I'm thinking of, like, him with the Vikings and stuff, too.
Right.
But it's like.
And you want to talk about.
Just kind of blew me away.
You want to talk about guys that would explode in this era of college football?
Who's that?
Percy Harvin.
Oh.
He'd be a Heisman Trophy candidate.
Yeah.
Like, as much as I love Kadarius Toney, Malachi Toney.
A little different.
A little different. Both dynamic with the ball.
I was about to say, Kadarius was pretty good at Florida.
Yeah, but put Percy Harvin this day and age.
Oh, that'd be nasty.
Oh, my God.
That would be nasty.
Tavon Austin, those guys. A.J. Green. People forget how good A.J. Green was. Even
He was
in the
really
NFL,
good.
Even in the NFL. Like,
well, he had a great quarterback, though.
Carson Palmer?
No.
Oh, you talking about his time in college?
Yeah. He's pretty good.
Yeah, he was #1 overall pick.
Yeah, he was. They got one. All right, we're back tomorrow at 6. Mac and Cube is next.